Hi, I'm back. Today we're going to be talking about all the physical books I read in August. I'm only going to talk about the physical books because I read a lot on my Kindle last month, and honestly it was just like I read like one series, but it was like 6 books long, and they were just sort of like normal sort of romance books. Like they were good, but there wasn't anything like specific that grants. Basically, I just can't bother to talk about them. But it was the Alabama. I'm gonna say this in an American accent because I don't know how to say it otherwise. Alabama Boys series. So bad. God. Okay. So the first book we read, these are all the way around, was When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. I'm not going to go into depth about all of these books. I'm basically just going to say what book I read and then what I rated it. So I really liked this book. It was a nice mix of like historical fiction and fantasy, which you don't see very often, but I really enjoyed it, and there are a lot of parts in this book that like I think you can sort of take away from. But yeah, this was my book of the month, 5 stars. Really enjoyed that book. The second book, okay, I'm doing this isn't the order I finished them, it's just the order it's in my journal because I can't be bothered. The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock by Imogen Hermes Gowar. I gave this one a 2.5 stars. It was a good book. It had a good plot. It was just, I think it was a bit too, it was a similar sort of historical fiction, bit of fantasy, because it had like mermaids in it, but I think for what I was expecting there wasn't enough of the fantasy, and honestly it was historical enough that it took me a while to read it because of how they spoke and how it was worded and stuff, which I understand is a factor in historical fictions, but this literally took me the whole month to read, and that was with listening. That was the only reason I finished this in August, was because I was also listening to it as an audiobook. I'm back. Sorry, I had dinner because obviously timing is my strong suit. So we've done When Women Were Dragons and The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock. Then there is The Fiance Dilemma by Elena Armas. I would first just like to say look how cute, and look how cute. This was really cute. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, this was actually, I didn't realise it until like right at the end that this is the second book of the long game, so I didn't realise who, like, can't remember their names again now, but the other characters in there who were like the main supporting characters, I didn't realise who they were until like right at the end, and I was like, oh wait, they're the couple from the first book with the football and stuff. But yeah, really cute. I gave this one a 3.5 stars. Then we have Kindle. Oh, I also read 2 books by Shane Rose on my Kindle last month. Though I can't remember what series they're called, but it's Between Commitment and Betrayal and then Between Love and Loathing. They're the first 2 books. I think there's 2 more. They were just like, again, like kind of normal sort of romantic, but maybe a bit spicier than I was used to. I didn't not enjoy them, but I think there was very nice like backstories stuff as well. Yeah, they were quite cute. I might read the next two at some point. I kind of read like romance books on my Kindles when I feel like I'm in a bit of a slump, so which is why last month I had so many like random romance Kindle Unlimited books. They're all on Kindle Unlimited as well, by the way. I didn't buy any of these books. I'm not that crazy. Not that crazy. So the next physical book we read was The Shadow Cabinet. Now, when I read Her Majesty's Royal Coven, it took me 4 tries to actually get through the whole book, and I really just did not enjoy it until like right at the end. I just felt like nothing really happened, and then I didn't really like the characters, and then yeah, basically, and then right at the end loads of like battles and stuff happened, and the twins like killed each other, whatever. But this book, okay, so it started out kind of the same. I was more invested in it because I wanted to know what was going to happen following the first book. Brain, words. So, and then I did think it was a bit like sort of slow again to get into, and then there were bits and pieces here and there that were happening, and there was stuff where you were sort of that got your mind working and you were thinking about it and things like that. But I think I don't know what it is. I quite struggled to read it, so I got it on audiobook, and oh my god, I can't remember her name. Something like Lachlan, I think. Am I making that up? The girl from Bridgerton, the ginger one. Is that, can I say ginger? I said it now, whatever. The one who writes the, you know who I mean. I don't even think she's ginger. She's ginger in Bridgerton, but she's blonde in real life. She's with Colin in both Bridgerton and anyway, she voiced this audiobook, and oh my god, best audiobook I've ever listened to. I absolutely loved it, and this was actually a 5-star. 5-star, which really surprised me. I was probably expecting like a 3.5 max that I was going to give this, but this was a 5-star, and I'm actually a bit annoyed. I think the next book comes out in March 2025, so I'm a bit annoyed by that, but there we go. And then oh look, and then we read another series of Kindle Unlimited books. Again, I don't know what the series name is, but by Grace Reilly. I read the first 3, I think there's 4. First Down, Breakaway and Stealing Homes. They're again just like cute little romance books, but they're sports romance books. So I think the first one was hockey, I want to say. No. American football, I think. Second one might have been hockey, I think. Or the other way round. I can't remember. But the third one, Stealing Home, that was baseball, which was different because I've never read like a baseball romance book before. But yeah, the last book I read in August was Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. I actually gave this one a 4.5. This again was like it was a historical fiction one, but also I'm not sure if it was based on like a true story. I kind of feel like it could have been. It felt very realistic, like the whole way through, and honestly like the first part of it I was a bit like I really enjoyed it. I read it quite quickly actually. I read it in 2 days. I thought I read it in a longer period than that, but for the first half, the like feminist oppression part of it, I don't know if that's the right words to use, but like that's just how it was like historically in the world. It angered me, like some of the things that people were saying to her and how they were treating her, like it made me feel like a feminist, and I am in no way a feminist. I mean, look at me, I'm like proper tomboy, always have been, but it was really interesting as well. I feel like if you it was like sort of factual, because there are things in here like where she actually, when she's like starts to cook and show and stuff, she actually talks about what sort of components are in food, like what's in this can of soup and what's in this chicken dinner, whatever, you know. And then there's also like the formulas, I guess, I don't know, but yeah, I really enjoyed that. So that's all for my August wrap up. I am gonna like merge this video because normally I do a TBR the week before the month starts. It's already September and I wasn't going to do a September TBR video, but honestly, well, basically I've been reading Babel for like almost 2 weeks and I'm not even halfway through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sort of like break it out because I'm really enjoying it. It's just I can only read like maximum of like 20 pages at a time, and most days it's about 4 or 5 pages. So I'm gonna break it up, otherwise like this month's gonna be super boring. And I'm gonna sort of pick some books now. So I did pick a couple before this video started, as you may have seen. This pretty little stack here, stack of 2. So basically I'm gonna reread A Court of Wings and Ruin because I have been rereading this series for pretty much the whole year. I've also been rereading the like City of Bones Shadowhunter series by Cassandra Clare, but I think I finished the 2nd book in that series more recently than I finished the 2nd book in this series. And honestly, I don't know, I just kind of really want to read Throne of Glass again, but I need to get there to be able to do that because I just feel like putting myself through the ringer basically. That's the mood I'm in. I want something that's going to make me like cry. So I'm going to reread Court of Rings of Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I'm also going to read Daydream by Hannah Grace, and look how pretty that is. So I'm going to read that this month as well. I have already read one other book that was on my Kindle, which was The Hunted Heir by Holly Renee. Basically I got bored of Babel, so I was like, oh wait, that came out, and I forgot it came out, so we've read that, but we're gonna read those 2. And then I made like a little jar and I printed off little book covers and I wrote all my books, well not all of them because I bought more since, and honestly I ran out of ink, so I haven't printed anything else, plus it's kind of full, so I'm not even gonna like dip my hand in. Literally gonna like tip them out, you can't see, but I think I'm gonna pick two or 3 more books. So we're gonna read The Wicked in Me. I'll get them in a minute and then I'll bring them back and show you. We're gonna read The Wicked in Me. Can't remember who that's by, I didn't write that on there. I think I started spelling stuff wrong, so I stopped writing the names on there. And then we're gonna read Ralph's Party, that's by Lisa Jewell, and that's I believe that's a romance book by her, which will be different because she's my favourite like thriller author. Romance by her, I'm not quite sure, but we'll have a go. Have we got like different backs? We've got one of those backs each already. I'm being picky now already. I have got one of them. I haven't got one of these. And then we're going to read Forever Interrupted. So that's 5 books, plus Babel, so it's 6. And then we'll probably read some like romances in between as well. And to be honest, I don't want to go more than picking 3 extra ones on top of these 3, because you never know, I might just go crazy with Sarah J. Maas and read out everything. So that's Then, let me just pop these back in her. I mean, I'll need to like resort that out because they're all now like folded together. But let me go and pick these up and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we have got The Wicked in Me by Suzanne Wright. Honestly, I can't remember what it's about. Can't really be bothered to read it and tell you either. But basically, it's a fantasy book. No one really knows what they are, only that they're the first civilization, aeons, they call themselves. They're immortal, powerful, secretive, and they'll come for her. Okay, so these aeons are trying to unfairly execute her. She's fleeing to the home of monsters, which is a place ruled by the ancient 7 beings who were banished by the aeons, Cain and Abel. Okay, an embodiment of jealousy wants her in his bed. Okay, so I think basically she tries to make a deal with people in this home of monsters, Devil's Cradle. Sounds like a fitting name for a place, or which is the home of monsters. Tries to make a deal with people, monsters there, I guess, and then they to beat the Aeons who were trying to kill her for apparently no apparent reason. That's number 1. Or number 4. Because we got through already. Ralph's Party. I'm pretty sure this is a romance by her. I think it might not be actually. It's very like open to interpretation, but I think it's a romance. Oh yeah, it literally says right at the top, the smash hit story of love, friends and flat shares. Oh, it's like it's not even a new one. I thought it was like a new one because I'd never seen it before, but it's a 25th anniversary version of this book, so it's like old. It's an old book, I think. I'm not entirely sure what I'm saying is correct. If you've read this, let me know. Basically, there's like a love triangle thing. Cool. And then that was by Lisa Jewell, by the way. Jewel, like a jewellery, jewel in the jewel, you know. Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Okay, so I have high hopes for this one. I love all of her books I read. I read them very like sparingly because I know there's like not that many out there, but I do end up literally loving everything from her that I read. Don't think I've read a single one of her books that wasn't like a 4 or 5 star. I think actually both the ones I've read have been a 5 star. Say all of the books I've read by her. I think I've only read 2, but that's good enough for me. So yeah, this one. New Year's Day, this girl goes out to pick up pizza. She meets Ben. In weeks, they're in love. By May, they're married. Oh, damn. 9 days later, he is hit by a truck and dies on impact. Jesus. He never told his mum about her. So I think it's like a double perspective thing where you see their romance as well as the present time, because it says interweaving Elsie and Ben's romance with Elsie and Susan's healing process. So I think you'll be able to see them meeting and falling in love and getting married and stuff up until the accident, as well as what's happening now until, you know. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. I am gonna put all these books away now. It's probably gonna take me like half an hour and I probably won't even do it. And it's not even that many books. I need to read some more of Babel, but I just can't be bothered. I've read like a good 10 pages today already, guys. I was kind of reading on my lunch. Actually, I think I've actually read 14 pages. So I think that's it. That's enough for today. It's just the chapters are so long. I would love to say I'm gonna finish the chapter, but like this, I'm like 10 pages into this chapter already, and I've got that many pages. I don't even want to count them, but that many pages left of the chapter. All I know is that book 3 is on page 200 and something. Yeah, book 3 is on page 222. And I've been trying to get to that. That's been my marker of, yeah, you're doing good. You're over halfway in the book point for about 4 days. I'm only on page 178. So yeah, I might read some Sarah Maas and kind of try and get my head back into reading. I've had like a really busy week at work as well, so I've just kind of not really been feeling it. But it's the weekend now, it's Friday night. And what are our plans for a Friday night? Sit here. Actually, I might go to the shops and get some like jam tarts or some cake. Oh, some like fizzy cola bottles. And then like just you know, get in bed. Thing is, I want to get in bed and put a film on, but I know I'll just put a film on, I won't read anything. But it's so quiet in my room if I don't have anything on. But then I'm in that mindset where I want to read, but I'll just get distracted by anything and everything. But anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.